I am Guy Langlois, Lieutenant Commander in the Starfleet. At the moment, I am stationed here at Starbase Eagle on the moon of the planet Earth, where I am the leader of the Subsistence Development Division, also known unofficially as the Starfleet Test Kitchen. Many years ago, I enlisted in Starfleet. I worked as a culinary specialist in the galley of ships and space stations, here and there, different assignments. I was stationed on Mars colony, on Beta Centauri C, on the starship USS Nehru, on the USS Annapolis. I moved around, got promoted, eventually was given the opportunity to earn my commission. When I join Starfleet, I do it to leave home, to travel, to see the galaxy. I grow up in a small town, in the country, in the middle of nowhere, nothing happening. My parents were good people, they love me, they love my sisters, but they were very boring. As a teenager, I worked in the kitchen of a restaurant that belonged to the mother of my best friend. I learned how to cook, how to work on the line. So, once I am old enough, I enlisted to use those skills to serve the Federation. People on Earth who I met during my basic training, they think I am French. They say, "Where are you from?" And I tell them, "Savigar." And they say, "Is that close to Paris?" I tell them, "No, it is close to Helvetios." It is not a town, it is a planet. I could tell you the name of the town I grew up in, but you have never heard of it. Some people also, they think I am pretending to be French. They say, "Why do you talk like this, in this bad French accent?" And I tell them, "This only sounds like a bad French accent to you. It is actually a perfect Savarian accent." When you are a culinary specialist on a starship, to excel you must have consistency and creativity. You have to cook in volume to feed the crew, and depending on the ship, you must also be able to create a menu in a fine dining fashion to feed the captain and the guests who are invited to the captain's mess. The first chef I ever served under on a starship, on the Nehru, he said to me, "No matter if you cook one steak to order to feed the captain, or you cook 100 hamburgers to feed the crew, the quality of the food must be the same." Which is good in principle, but in practice this is ridiculous. Of course, I make a good hamburger, but a hamburger is not a steak. People with good taste, if there is a choice, they prefer the steak. As for me, I have no opinion since I cannot eat the hamburger or the steak. Savagarians and humans, they look the same, but on the inside we are very different. Any form of beef, farm-raised, lab-grown, synthetic, my stomach cannot tolerate it. I learned another important lesson while serving on the Starship Nehru. Preparation is everything. They say, some people, they say, a chef is only as good as the ingredients. Not true. Preparation. And I know this is the truth because this is how I got my promotion to become the head chef on the Annapolis. One day on the Nehru, I was in the galley on the night watch, gamma shift, and I get a call from the captain. She is off duty but up late and she is hungry. She says, "Can you make me a sandwich of a chicken breast with lettuce, tomato, and aioli, and a dill pickle, and a side of chips, also called French fries, but the captain was from England on the planet Earth, so to her they are chips." I say, "Yes, sir, Captain, no problem." And I get right to work, and I find, to my dismay, that we have no more raw chicken breast. We were due for resupply in 2 days, and we had simply run out. But I do not want to disappoint the captain. So, here is what I do. I take the protein sequencer that we have in the galley that we use to make the synthetic meats, and I reprogram it to make the chicken not in the shape of a circular patty, but in the irregular shape of the natural breast of the chicken. I also make the thickness uneven, a little more thick in this place, a little less thick in this place, to make it more like a breast of a chicken. I call down to sickbay. I speak to the medic on duty, and I say, "Report to the galley, and bring me an empty hypo spray." He brings the hypo spray. I fill it with chicken stock, which I still have on the shelf, and I inject it into the synthetic chicken I made with the protein sequencer to simulate the natural juices of the breast of the chicken. I bread the chicken. I cook it in the air fryer. I serve it on a beautiful warm bun, which I have lightly toasted on the one side with the lettuce and tomato and aioli, which we make fresh every day. The French fries, the chips on the side. I take it to the captain. "Enjoy your chow, sir." And the next day, the head chef tells me, "The captain says last night you made her the greatest chicken sandwich she has had in her life." I say, I must take the captain's word for this. I could not taste it before I served it because one bite of it would have made my kidneys explode. The head chef says this sandwich must have been a miracle, since I happen to know at this moment we are out of chicken. Because of this, when my posting on the Nehru was at an end, both the head chef and the captain herself recommended me for promotion on my next assignment. Once again, consistency and creativity. These are the essential tools. So after I am head chef on the USS Annapolis for 5 years, I am transferred to the Mars colony, and I open up a brand new galley and dining facility for the top Starfleet brass, and I meet Admiral Fielding, the head of Starfleet operations. And he says to me, "I know you by reputation. I know you are the best. I want to transfer you to the moon of the planet Earth. We are going to open the Starfleet test kitchen on the moon because there is a lady on the Federation Council, and she is from the moon, and this is where she has said the Starfleet test kitchen will be. And Chef Guy, we want you to be the first head chef of this facility. You will be in charge of creating menus and new food preparations for Starfleet ships and installations across the galaxy. Do you accept?" And of course, how could I say no? I told him, "Give me an officer's commission and I will take the job." A week after that, I am Lieutenant Guy Langlois, and today I am Lieutenant Commander Guy Langlois. Okay, so I am in the laboratory of the Subsistence Development Division, the Starfleet Test Kitchen, where we are developing the next generation of food to be served on the ships and space stations and etc. I already supervised the creation of the new chicken sandwich based on my chicken sandwich that I made the captain of the USS Nehru. Now Starfleet galleys all over the galaxy serve the same kind of sandwich, but we do not live on our reputation. We work for tomorrow. We design food that is new and better to make sure that the next time the Klingons start a war, or there is, I don't know, a big scary space cloud, the personnel of Starfleet do not have to face the danger on an empty stomach. Here is the new product we are currently perfecting. It is not quite ready to be rolled out yet, but we are making good progress. These are the nutrition cubes. They are made from a dough that supplies the dietary needs of 90% of species that are represented in Starfleet, depending on the size or the presentation. It can be an entree, a side, an hors d'oeuvre. It is very versatile. It is the food of the future. You look at these nutrition cubes and you may think this is processed, this is manufactured, there is no role for the chef, but this is wrong. The nutrition cubes are prepared fresh by the chef or the cook on the starship or the starbase, whatever. We have even created a specialized tool for the preparation of the cubes. You'll take the nutritional dough in its raw condition, you load it into the extrusion device, you depress the lever, and from out of the front comes the perfectly formed nutrition cube, which we detach when it is the size we desire. We are also experimenting with attachments to the extruder to render the dough in shapes other than the cube to allow for variety. This is still in the fine-tuning stage, but it will be perfected. I am very confident. What do they taste like? I do not know. I cannot eat the nutrition cubes. They would give me heartburn, which for a Savarian is fatal. The heart would literally become a flame. I think the future for culinary specialists in Starfleet is a bright one. People will always need to eat, just as the starship needs the matter and antimatter to fuel the journey. The crew of the starship also needs fuel in the form of nutritious and, we hope, good-tasting food. When I went to advanced culinary training a long time ago, one of my human instructors tells me that on Earth they used to say, an army marches on its stomach. But today the same thing is true, only we say a fleet flies on its stomach. My friends in the physical sciences and engineering departments, they tell me about the new technologies coming down the road, food synthesizers, matter replication. They say eventually there will be no need for a culinary specialist on a ship or a space station. The crew will just say to a computer, I want a chicken sandwich, and the food will appear. I do not believe this. I am skeptical. Not of the technology. I believe one day it will be possible for a computer to make a chicken sandwich, for example, but will that chicken sandwich have the same quality as one prepared by hand by a trained and discriminating cook? How would this be possible? Perhaps this technology will have some utility on the frontier, in locations where there cannot be the same level of operational staff as is typical. There is no culinary specialist on site, and the crew needs to eat, and food from the computer is better than field rations. I would also argue with this because we have improved the quality of these as well. The new field rations are quite delectable. But yes, in these extreme situations where there are not better options, the crew may be able to subsist on food from a replicator. This is possible, but to replace culinary specialists on a fleet-wide basis, no. To make food, to perfect a recipe, to master the techniques of preparation, to build a menu, these are forms of art. You cannot have art without the artist. Why would you even want this? You give people the choice of art made by a computer or art made by a living, breathing, thinking, feeling person. You think the people will choose the computer? This will never happen. Bon appetit.